Before I get started, I can't believe I did this. I just recorded this whole video with my lav mic on the desk. So apologies for the poor audio. I promise the next video will be better. Good morning, gooders. Today I thought I'd like to try something a little bit different, and I'm having trouble making videos only because I've just got too much on my plate at the moment, and when I want to make a video, I want to make it like really good and put a lot of time into the editing and shooting all the elements I want to shoot. But I'm finding that the topics I want to talk about and I want to discuss, I just don't have time to sort of get them down and get them out. So what I thought I would do is to just make a video like this, try and do one every weekday, Monday to Friday. And if I can do it in a format which is simple, easy to shoot and easy to edit, then I'll be able to do a lot more naturally. So I've set up this setup as you're seeing here with the topics I want to talk about on the website there. And I thought I'll give this a try and see how it works out. So before I get started, if you want my free files, here's where you'll find them. They're at my printverygood.blogspot.com, and as you can see here, I've got a heap of free files ready to go and download. So you're welcome to have at those. And if you would like to support me, you can by going to my Patreon site and support me on there. And that's here. I'll just do little updates and sneak peeks of what's coming up and things like that. But primarily it's just a support site if you're interested in doing so. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today was YouTube comments. Now I find I'm getting the comments are fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy the comments, but I find that they are very distracting to what I want to do in relation to 3D printing and my own work. So I also find that the good comments are fantastic. They're really nice to read and respond to. But then when you get a negative comment, it just sort of plays in the back of your mind, and I find I get distracted from what I'm trying to achieve, thinking about this negative comment. So what I've been doing of late is not reading the comments and only checking them when I'm in the mood to, or in the frame of mind to actually read comments and digest what's being said and have time to respond to. But I find that the less I read the comments, the happier I am, and the more I can focus on what I'm trying to achieve. So going forward, I will be looking at comments occasionally. So if you're planning on leaving a comment on the video, you're more than welcome, and share your thoughts. Fantastic. It's just that I won't be looking at the comments so much. I'll just be focusing on what I'm working on and trying to achieve. So that's where I am on comments at the moment. The other thing I wanted to talk about, there's a couple of things on today's list, but was my Scared Robot series. Now I started this little series about 12 months ago, and my plan was to make regular animated videos featuring this little character. But after having worked 20 years in the animation industry, I'm at a point now where spending hours and hours and hours behind a computer animating just doesn't do it for me anymore. I just find it's just too tedious and it's just too much hard work. So, but I still love this little character and I still want to make a little series with him. So I thought of a way that I could make it fun and interesting for me to work on, and give me a reason to keep working on it, keep doing it. So I thought what I would do is to actually 3D print this little character and make a little puppet or a little maquette, a little model of him that I could then live action shoot and animate. Not so much stop motion. I want to do a few little tricks where I don't have to do stop motion, which is then back to 2D animation. So I don't want to do that. I want to make it a model or a puppet. It's hard for me to explain, but something that sits in the real world, so I can put real world lighting on it. I can make little sets, little stages for him for the different areas that he'll be in and living in and working in. And I thought it'd be a fun way for me to then integrate my animation and modeling and character design with my 3D printing, and and do it that way, and then share my process as I'm going and my successes and failures and where I'm at with that. So I think that's what I'll do. I will model him. Well, he's already modeled, but make it a 3D printable model, and then make it so that I can rotate the head. And I've got some ideas where for head rotations and how I can control it, and for walk cycles and doing walks which don't require any animation. I can just do it all physically. So as I get closer to making those elements, I will show you how I'm doing it and what I've got planned. So that's my little Scared Robot series. So I do want to keep working on that, but I want to do it in a way that's fun for me to do, and yeah, it keeps me wanting to work on it. So that's coming up. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was Blender 2.79 versus Blender 2.8, and I still prefer to model in 2.79, only because for the simple fact that it has the carved Boolean modifier. Now, I've been watching videos by Gleb Alexandrov and guys like that are fantastic, Blender modelers and creators, and how they work around the Boolean problems or the issues that arise from the Boolean modifiers in Blender. And I watched a video just last night where Gleb went over 10 different ways to solve the Boolean problems. And I was looking at what he was trying to fix and the methods he was using to fixing, which were great. But I couldn't help but thinking that all those issues were introduced by using the bmesh Boolean modifier, or a lot of those issues. And so I was sort of thinking, well, is it ready to switch to Blender 2.8? But after watching the video, I'm thinking if I work with my work and my methods of working in Blender 2.79, I find that I can avoid a lot of the issues that he was fixing in his meshes just by the workflow I'm currently using. So I'm still in two minds on whether to switch to Blender 2.79 or to Blender 2.8 or stick with Blender 2.79. I will try and keep trying Blender 2.8, and once I can get to a position where I can model and create meshes for 3D printing without having to fix a heap of errors, then I will switch to Blender 2.8. So that could just be a workflow that I need to adopt in Blender 2.8 and working out what that workflow is, and that could just be a matter of time. So yeah, so that's where I am on Blender 2.79 versus Blender 2.8. I do use Blender 2.8, like if I'm rendering something or anything that doesn't require outputting for 3D printing. Yeah, I use Blender 2.8, no problems at all. But the workflow for me for Blender for 3D printing, I just find I can get to where I need to be faster in Blender 2.79 than I can Blender 2.8. So yeah, that's where I am on that. Well, that's it for this video. I thought I'd just kick it off with a couple of those points. So I've got a few things I'm making a list of for Monday's video, a few topics. After having said what I said about comments, if you want to leave a comment on what you think of this format, please do. I will read these comments on this format for this video. And then, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think for me, this is good because I have so much in my head that I'm thinking about and while I'm working and what I want to talk to you guys about, but it's just making a video on that topic is just going to take too long. So if I can do it this way, fantastic. You know, I can share what I want to share in a quick, efficient manner, and then get back on to what I want to try and achieve. All right, so yeah, hopefully you like this format. I will do it for the next week or so and see how it works out, and go from there. So thanks again for watching. Thanks very much to all my Patreon supporters and anyone who's left a tip on my modeling site. I don't get a lot in the way of tips. I think in total I've had probably about $75 since I've been running the free files site. But you know, every cent helps, and I appreciate every dollar I get. So thanks very much for everyone who is helping, and in particular my Patreon supporters, to each month, you know, give me a little bit to try and keep things going. So I really do appreciate that. All right, I'll stop rambling. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.